This trellis that I put up in the spring, I gotta say, has been incredible. Definitely recommend it. Again, I think it is snow fencing that I bought. It is a 4-foot roll of snow fencing, and it has done an absolutely wonderful job with the cucumbers and with the watermelons. So I definitely like it. Now, of course, I know that most of you don't have a tunnel frame to hang this on, but I used it with T-posts as well, and just strung it along this line. We've had hit and miss with the cucumbers as far as, like, I put 4 different varieties in this row, and the variety that was in this hole right here was the Sumters. It was a pickling cucumber, and there's still a couple plants that are here, but it has been the roughest season I have experienced yet for squash bugs. In the past, the beetles have been a big problem, but this year there was squash bugs and slugs. The aphids have been bad as well. Really rough on basil. And what I'm getting ready to do now is go through and do a pruning on the tomatoes, which are ready to do a second flush, but they need to be cleaned up some. It's been really hot. There's been drought. So with the squash bug epidemic that we had this year, the solution was neem oil and dish soap. I'll put a recipe right here for that. Very simple. Put it in a sprayer. Make sure you get underneath the leaves. And the plants handled the neem oil very well. There wasn't a lot of neem oil in it, but there was a butt ton of soap. That's what seemed to end up being the trick. So I'll show you that. Again, that's all organic, so that's a beautiful thing. Doesn't hurt anything. The cucumbers that struggled with this have been a hybrid that I tried this year. This is their unspectacular self right here, and this is a hybrid called Little Finger. Now, the cucumbers are extraordinary. They're tiny. These are still growing, but they're really small. Here's one that's more like ready to pick size. Let me pull that out. So a super nice little cucumber, but a very delicate plant, as all these specialty cucumbers seem to be. The cucumbers that have performed the best through all of this have been a hybrid, also a burpless hybrid cucumber. And I believe it's just called burpless, and I think it might even be from burpees, which would be weird. But it was just something that I grabbed off the shelf, I believe, at like Ace Hardware or my feed store. And put those in because I grow them for my mother every year. She loves cucumbers and has a hard time digesting them, as I guess a bunch of people do. The straight eights. These are the straight eights. Again, fairly unspectacular. Now, they have produced well. They've done a good job with that. They have produced some cucumbers, absolutely, but they have been very afflicted with the squash bugs, more so than some of the others, because here we are back to more of the burpless. They just outdid everyone. The canning pickles, the pickle cucumbers, the Sumters, were the worst as far as being able to resist disease. Like the weakest plants, I guess is what I'm saying. Because that's what gets picked on, is the weakest plants. A couple more of those, not doing too hot. And then the ones that were probably second worst have been the Chinese Sulong cucumber. Let's see, where is one? There's one right there. Here's one. So again, a specialty cucumber, but a weaker plant. Yeah. Watermelons still coming in, the sugar babies. And let's see back here, they are in full flush again. So we'll get another round of those. We have a bunch that are coming up ready. So how do you tell if your watermelons are ripe? Or your melons at all, of any kind? And what you need to look for is the tendril that comes at the base of the stem that connects the plant right here. So you can see this little tendril. He's all curled up here. Let's see if I can get a good view of it. All curled up. But if it had had something to hang on to, it would have, grabbed hold of it just like a cucumber plant or whatever. If it's still green, the melon is not ready. And I'll show you what I mean on a ripe melon now. And the sun is really intense. Just put in the squash plants. I wait. This is August.